Hello, LegendAqua here, and welcome to Fantasia Rebuild. So, this is a crossover game featuring numerous amounts of Kadokawa titles, such as the Arshak records of the B Instructor, Data Life, Slayers, Saikano's even in this, High School DxD. It's a huge crossover mobile game. It's in similar regards to, I will say, Carrera Fantasia, which takes more the manga time Carrera titles and made that a crossover fantasy game. This is the same, just for Kadokawa titles instead. So, first things first, why don't we just see the party? And we'll get to how the gameplay works. It is interesting how it will work. So, we've got support class there, as well as our front line. We also have some back lines here. We will get to why there are two back lines in the moment. But yes, as you can see, some of the characters are from a lot of the titles, therefore the crossover effect. This is the only original character, which is mobile original character only. If we can load into it. Yeah, her. And as you can see, there's obviously classes. I'm trying to get used to what does what, as well as everything else. So, yeah. Second part of the parties, at least. All the characters, if you want to look at the bios as well as stats, you can go into that. Some of the, I will say that the UI is a little bit tab heavy, but thankfully, they can, there's a second way to make it quicker. This is, I'm guessing, the support class. If you guys seen any Fate Grand Order things, this is usually how support class looks in terms of UI, so it's very similar to that. And then next up is essentially craft essences. So you do get craft essences as well as I'm guessing weapons to help certain characters. I can't put any of them at the moment because I think my party cost is too big. Next up is character leveling, the stat growth essentially. So let's go to Akino here. So I can level her up using this if I wanted to. I just might do 2 because I do kind of want to level her up a little bit. Like that. Yep. What else can I do? SP. Okay, so next one is levels. The skill levels can be leveled up from here as well as any other stat you want to do. This is probably, yeah, it's rarity. Upping the rarity and break limit, I guess. And this is probably the alt if you get more copies of her. Essentially, everything I just went through is the same thing here. So, yeah. Not too sure about this one though. Oh, for the craft essence. That's what the craft essence is, essentially. Next up, gacha. So, we get beginner's campaigns, so we do get a lot of the in-game currency, which is the the blue F, if you want to. Right now they've got a beginner's campaign just to maybe give us 5 stars here and there. I kind of don't want to pull since I actually do have some characters that I want to work on immediately, but let's just go with this. Just use this ticket. Oh, hello, high dollar. let's just spend the tickets and just see how it goes. It's very similar to Fate Grand Order, I'll say. Seriously, this game takes a lot of cues from Fate Grand Order. Just obviously because it's a crossover, they do have their own blend of styles, so I will give it that. And then after the gacha, we might go into gameplay, which is kind of the most interesting part, if the crossover isn't interesting enough. Oh, I got a 5-star! Craft Essence of Saikano. Okay, I'll take her. I'll take it. If that was actually a 5-star, oh god. Alright, next up is... Okay, so before I move on to the gameplay, there's one little thing. This is pretty much commissions. Just do this and you can just wait 2 hours and then you can get some characters leveled up if you want. So if, say, you like... Go for her, Akino, and her. And say yes, and then let her do it. I'm guessing once you do this a couple of times, more will be unlocked, or through level. I'm still trying to get into it. All right, so there's two things. The daily resources are here, but the story is here. I'm kind of in a part where it's kind of getting hard for me, so I do kind of need to level up. So let's actually just go into XP dungeon. Yeah, why not? And then bring the party that I've got along. Yeah, this is always a support. I'm guessing it's there for beginners for most of the time. The support is always there, just to help you out. Alright, so we'll see how the gameplay is. It is interesting. I'll say that it is interesting on how you do it. The gameplay for me, it feels like a bit of Symphogear and Idola merged together. It's interesting, I'll say that much. Alright. So here's the thing. You can just attack. So let's just do normal attacks. So I'll just go yes. Number 1 attack, number 2 attack, number 3 attack, and then I'll do it. Yep. Go for Akino, thank you. I don't think that'll kill me. If you press all, you can just do auto. That's simple enough. So you're kind of wondering, okay, so then what does the backline have to do with this? Essentially, if you hold it, you can make different formations to make them attack. So say if I wanted Koniko, the main character, and her to do it, they can do it. And I think this is the part where it actually does get interesting, because say if there's like healers or something, which I think my character's just buffed up, so I can actually go again. So this is pretty good. Though to be fair, I'm actually in a really low level dungeon to get XP, so I'm actually fine with that. Okay, so then close to getting the ults. Let's see if I can at least get them to do an ult. Oh, close. Okay, I think I can do it. As long as I don't kill too quickly. Okay, let's see if I can do it. Oh. Not that. Okay, did buff her up. That's her ult. And then just go pro normal. Yeah, fine. Auto it. Auto it. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, actually that's the first time I saw an ult in the game, so yeah. If there's one thing I'll say about the battle gameplay is I wish they had auto in the entire thing instead of every wave or every single turn. If they changed that to fully auto, it would make the game a little bit less tedious, but I'll say again, the gameplay is very interesting. Because you can make a lot of formations just with the one team that you have. Again, harkening back to a little bit with Idola, as well as a bit of Symphogear in that regards. Yeah. And then I think that's affection ratings, support, and that's all my XP stuff. So, yeah. The game is actually very interesting in that regards, and if you like Katakala's titles, they may bring in more characters. For me, I'm actually going to anticipate when Utaha from Saikano might show up. If she does show up, I am actually going to be... I might go crazy for the gacha for that one, if she ever does show up. Again, if you like Katakala titles, as well as the characters, as well as if you like the gameplay there, it has the typical, you know, gacha leveling up characters, leveling up these skills, as well as strategizing your party, that kind of system. I think that is actually one of the better parts of the game, I'll say. Animation-wise, besides the ults, the chibi style, it's halfway there, but I'll say that either way, animation is pretty decent. Overall, Fantasia Rebuild is actually quite the good... It's a decent crossover game with all the titles. And again, if you really like the characters here, you might want to get into this game, because if this does carry on and they'll bring in more characters that you guys will like, you are going to play this game. Like, seriously, as I said for myself, if Utaha gets into the game, I'm definitely going to go all out for that gacha if she ever does arrive. So yeah, if anything, I'll give this 8 or a 9 out of 10 for first impressions. It is a game that you can like semi-main or semi-play on the side. Again, if they did at the very least have a full auto within most of the waves, I could probably clear the stories much faster, as well as making grinding easier. I have heard rumors that they are going to implement a full auto, so if they do that, I might go into the game a little bit more. Yeah, overall, really like this game, especially its characters. Seriously, I think it's the characters that's the main draw of the game, which is why I started playing it. Okay, so I'm going into rambling state here, so I think I'll leave it at that. Comment below if you're actually interested in the game, and I might be doing more of this game. More or less, I'll be saving up the gacha currency, and if there's a character that comes out, I will pull for that person. But for me, I'm already satisfied because I've already got Akino, like, from my tutorial pulls. Oh, Senran Kagura. Oh, just... Either way, I will leave it there. With that, LA out.